these blues. What the fuck is up?
Alright, so this is the first episode of Mahoney Cinema Conversations. Joining me today is a good friend, Ryan Curtis. He's a comedian, a writer, and a good person trying to get into the industry a little bit more. Today we're going to be discussing how you guys can get into the industry yourself and what it's like working with it. So if you guys could help me introduce Ryan to the screen now. Ryan, whenever you're ready.
Hey, Sean, what up, dude?
Hey, how you doing, Ryan?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. So listen, we have a couple questions for you today. Is that okay?
Yeah, right on.
Perfect. Ryan, how old are you to start with?
So I'm 31,
Okay.
and I'm having an existential crisis.
You have an existential crisis?
Every day of my life, dude.
I think most of us have that every day of our lives.
Oh, yeah. Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
But that's what we're here for. We're here to talk to each other and go through it together, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we all got to help each other out or something.
I mean,
that's inspirational. Clip that one. Clip that.
They say that, but So, how long have you been in the industry for? How long have you been doing comedy?
Yeah, so I've been doing comedy for a little over 9 years at this point. I started when I was in college. I was 20 something. I'm so bad with math. Whatever 9 is subtracted from 31. And yeah, I've been doing it pretty steadily ever since.
Good. I've been seeing that you're getting some shows week after week. Let me ask you this. What was your biggest motivation to following your passion of comedy?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing was like wanting to do something better, bigger than what I was doing, As you know, I was working in retail and I just fucking hated my job. And, it was one of those things of like, I was in college and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I knew that like comedy was a passion of mine. And I'd always watched it growing up, like Comedy Central Presents and stuff like that. And I just didn't know how to get into that, right? Found out there was an open mic, started doing it, and lo and behold, like I failed miserably. But, like, I loved it. It was, like, a lot of fun. It was very cool, and it flexed a few muscles that I was trying to do, right? Writing, kind of public speaking, stuff like that. And yeah, I wanted to do this thing I was passionate about,
Right. Now, let me ask you this, before we move on to the next list of questions. What was your favorite show that you did so far?
Oh, my God. My favorite show? That had to have been, it actually just happened last October, or the October that just passed, the Fest in Gainesville, Florida. So the Fest is like this giant punk rock music festival, but they do like a comedy, they do comedy and wrestling as during the weekend as well. So I submitted for that, and they got me on. The owner, the guy who puts it on, Tony, super nice guy. It's an amazing festival. It's very like everyone just kind of comes together, and yeah, it was cool. I opened for some bigger names like Chris Gethard, Neil Rubenstein, and it was an amazing experience. It's really cool when people you don't know really like your jokes and they really like the things that you're doing, So yeah, it was an amazing experience.
I believe it. Is there anything that a fan came up to you and said that really stuck out?
Yeah. So I write for New Noise Magazine, and one of the bands I reviewed, the Iron Roses. Shout out the Iron Roses. Two of the two singers came to see my show, and they were like, "Yo, that was awesome!" Like, they saw both of my shows, which blew my mind. They did not have to do that. I am no one special, but they were very kind for doing that. And another person came up, and they were like, they were like, "Oh, I saw your set," and I was like, "Oh, I'm not in a band." Like, and she was like, "No, I know. Like, you're the comic, you're the comedian." And I was like, "Oh yeah." She goes, "Yeah, it was great." And I was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." So I don't know if they're necessarily fans, but I don't know. They made my day way better. So yeah, it was cool. It was pretty neat.
I think when you have somebody say that your work is going somewhere, I think when that recognition hits, it means a lot to the artist. It means a lot to the person who's putting their all into something that they care about, that they love.
100%. I think it's that thing of like, you work on your art, right? Like, and I'm telling dick jokes, so, art is subjective, but you work on this thing and you try to craft it, and like anything else, like, it may not go according to plan, or it may not go how you think it's going to go, for months at a time. And then when it finally clicks into place and you finally get that reaction, that validation, it makes it all worth it. It's very strange. But yeah, it's always good for me, when that happens, it makes me feel great,
It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. I'm sorry, I'm having an ADHD moment. What's your mug say right there?
This, yes. It is, let me see if I can get it. Genius at Work. It's a little goblin guy, on the toilet, which, perfectly describes me. Shout out, Wizard of Barge, awesome artist. Great art. One of my all-time favorite artists. I follow him. Everyone should follow him. Yeah.
That's great. I love that. So we're moving on to the next question. Ryan, you often speak about your previous job at retail.
Yeah.
We worked together for what, maybe 10 years, I would say.
Something like that. Yeah, I was there. God, it was a nightmare. I hate that place.
You know that when you work a job like we do, it's hard to break out in the industry. What would you say to others that are trying to break out, to help them, like any advice?
Well, I think the one thing everyone needs to recognize, right, is that, like, most people are not born with a silver spoon in their mouth. And unfortunately, you're going to have to work these shitty jobs to kind of go for your goal, right? To kind of go for that thing you want to do. And it'll suck. It'll be awful. And there's going to be nights where you get, like, very little sleep. And maybe you have a full schedule. Maybe you're going to school and working and doing this other thing, or what have you. And in the moment, it's not going to seem worth it at all. But after you kind of ascend, right? If you're working on a thing, I believe that if you're working on a thing, whatever it is, and you want to get to the next level, and you're putting in the work, you're learning about it, you're giving it an honest try, you will ascend eventually to that next level, right?
Right.
And I think working that shitty job is like motivation for that, right? Working that job is saying, okay, I hate where I'm at right now. I hate this position I'm in, but I'm not going to be here forever. And I'm going to keep just marching on, going for these goals. And I think that's kind of how people have to look at it. As probably, infantile as that advice is, like, it is like, unfortunately, you gotta work to live, in the economy, in our country, and doing that, will ensure, like, it'll build that thing in you. Like, I don't ever want to do this again. And then you're going to go harder at the thing you want to do. And I think, through time, you're going to get better at it. And you're going to kind of find your path along the route to it. It'll make it better. You can finally quit that fucking awful job. I'm projecting, and yeah, it'll make you more resilient, and that's kind of what you need. You need resilience, and you need thick skin.
Of course. So essentially, keep following your dreams and keep going with your passion, right?
100%. And also, dreams can change, right? Like, I know a lot of people who, like, they started stand up, and then kind of after a while, they're like, it's not really for me. And that's okay, too. Life is very long. It's probably the longest thing you're going to do, right? Like, so, you know, you can experiment. You can try new things. You can see what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Fortunately, this is, although there's been trials and tribulations, right, through everything, this works for me. It's something I like to do. And yeah, you just kind of got to keep pushing, to do that thing you want to do.
That's great. That's great. So you were saying earlier about following your passions and dreams, which is great, to hear. Let me ask you this. Would you do everything again? Like, would you go back to your old job in order to get into the industry? Or would you wish for an easier way to break out into it?
I mean, I'm lazy. I like the easy route, you know? I don't know. I think, I don't think my job helped me as much with stand-up comedy, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. It helped me in other aspects of my life, by kind of realizing how to, like, just talk to people. Right? Like, I don't know, you work any retail job, there's just douchebags who talk to you, talk at you, and yell at you and stuff. But no, I mean, in terms of, like, doing comedy, I think a lot of the people that are, like, right, like comics, what you would consider like a comic, a touring comic, a lot of them kind of have, like, I don't know, a lot of shit paid for, and not even in, like, a way of, like, you know, this isn't me throwing shade at them. It's more so just, there's a lot of rich people who do comedy, a lot of people who can afford to go out every night and reach those dreams where they're probably not working 40 hours a week. And good for them. Good for them. I think the struggle while trying to achieve the thing you want to do, right? I think that is a good motivator, because I know people who, like, started stand-up and then, you know, just kind of stopped doing it. And for whatever reason that is, like, you know, it's their reason. It's nothing. It's not a bad thing. But I also think just suffering through that for as long as I did, I think that kind of made me see, like, oh, okay, like, there's something greater I want to do. There's something bigger I want to do. And yeah.
Of course. So, on to the third question that I have for you. If you could work with any comedian of your choice, who would you choose and why? So, like, if you were to do, like, a duo comedy or open up for somebody, who would you choose?
Living or dead, or just living?
Anybody in general.
Oh, I mean, if it's living or dead, George Carlin.
Ooh.
He's my hero, through and through. Just, you know, I think people today talk about how, like, comedians, quote unquote, speak the truth, right? And they're usually talking about someone who's like, I'm being canceled. But George Carlin, I think, actually spoke the truth. And it's because he had a vision, and knew how to craft a joke. And knew how to craft a joke so well it came off as a speech. He was just one of the best to do it. So yeah, if we're talking living or dead, George Carlin. If we're talking just living, either Tom Segura or Bill Burr, I think would be amazing.
They would be interesting to work with for sure.
Oh yeah.
Bill Burr has a definite broad array of comedy up his sleeve. I wonder what it would be like to just sit at a bar with him and pick his brain a little bit.
Yeah, I think he does this like angry the angry guy kind of routine.
Yes.
But I don't think he's like that in real life. Just based off of like I saw him one of his last tours, and he talks about doing mushrooms and kind of like healing as like this angry guy. I think the new joke's on one of his. I think that joke is on one of his specials. But I just remember hearing it and fucking pissing myself laughing. It was so goddamn funny. So yeah, I would love to pick Bill Burr's brain for sure.
That would be great to do. So Ryan, at this point, I'm going to play a little bit of clips of your segments, if that's okay with you.
100%.
Absolutely.
Look in the mirror and go, yeah, that's the body I deserve. Do that all the time. Everyone's body's a temple. Mine has been condemned by the state, you know? It's awful, dude. I hate it. I just don't think the body positivity movement's for me, you know? Because everyone says the same thing. Love the skin you're in. Hey, fuck you.
My old job sucked. I worked retail. Anyone here just hate their job? Everyone loves their job. Awesome, cool, relatable. I hate my job, man. Like I worked during the COVID pandemic, and people would like come up and thank me for my service. Like this isn't my 9/11. Like it's okay. I get stoned and put shit on shelves. It doesn't. Like this is not.
And we're back. So, circling back around to the last question, would you say that George Carlin was your inspiration for your work as well?
Yeah. Yeah, I think. I remember very distinctly when I heard of George Carlin. And it was through like a video or I'd seen a special on HBO or something. And I distinctly remember going to like FYE in the mall in when I lived in Philadelphia. And I bought his album Complaints and Grievances, which was kind of my introduction to him in a way, of just having like this full album, and I just listened to it on repeat. And it resonated with me with like a lot of the things I was like, I guess, experiencing at the time, right? Like he talked a lot about religion. Well, I was raised Catholic. I went to Catholic school, but that was slowly like a diminishing thing. I didn't really believe in anything at that point. And just the way he talked and like how it was like very relatable to everybody, like kind of listening to that over and over, that was a big like, oh, like I would like to do this. And then as I've gotten older, not that it really works out when I'm on stage, but like I guess in spirit as I'm writing, like sometimes I'll be like, oh, this is like, maybe this bit's a little angry, or maybe it's a little rantier, and it's because I'm kind of in like that mindset, that like George Carlin mindset, I guess you could say, or however you want to say it. Maybe I'm listening to him a lot at that time, and that's kind of how, I guess through these jokes, like I'm expressing that thought or whatever. So yeah, I would say he's the biggest inspiration, far and above anyone else.
That's awesome. The thing that I liked about George Carlin is he would speak his mind, as you said. And when he got political, he wouldn't do just one side. He would focus on all sides. Which brings me to my last question to you, actually. George Carlin would always he wouldn't shy away from any subject. He would speak his mind. He would say what he was feeling in the moment and how the moment was, despite how he said it. As a comedian yourself, is there any line that you feel shouldn't be crossed, or is there any type of jokes that you wouldn't tell?
No, I mean, so here's my view on it. Not that it matters what some fucking it doesn't matter like what I think, right? Because everyone has like different points of views about it. But you know, I think people use Carlin, and it's a shame because like he understood comedy better than I think most people, especially the big people now, right? Everyone wants to talk about Joe Rogan and all this shit, and whatever. People like Rogan will say like, oh, you can't say anything anymore, or you're gonna get canceled. Which isn't true. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. That's right. I have a joke in my act that's like, I'll tell it. I don't know how, if it's gonna come across funny or not, but it's like, my comedy friend was saying, you can't say anything anymore on stage, right? Audiences don't want to hear it. He went, you can't even say a joke on stage. And I said, whoa. Of course you can say, audiences love a good joke. You just can't force it on them, right? Like, and that like, I just hate the idea that like audiences are oh no, don't say that. Maybe you didn't deliver the joke the right way. Mm-hmm. Now, I have told jokes to audiences who just like didn't give a shit about my set, right? So of course it seems like they're offended by a joke when they're not. They just don't care, and that's fine. I still got your money, so you know. But no, I don't know. People, I think you can tell a joke about anything. You just got to make it funny. And if people get offended by that, well, I don't know. Maybe you didn't do a great job delivering that joke, right? Maybe it was too one-sided. Look, I do open mics every week, and when you do open mics, you're submitted to people who've been doing it for a long time and people who've been doing it for less than a week, right? So, like, there's a huge gap in skill, and that's fine. Typically, you're at an open mic, they're supportive. It feels a little isolating at times, but, like, we're supportive, right? Like, but there's only so many Hitler jokes you can listen to before you're like, yeah, that joke sucks. It's not fun. Oh, yeah, the Hitler joke, that's hilarious. Like, I think people try to be edgy for the sake of being edgy when, like, you can be, there's a line, right? People don't, you ever watch the movie The Stand?
No, I haven't, but I know of it. Yes.
Okay. So the movie The Stand, the whole idea is this group of friends are on this journey, and they're going to go see a dead body. They never show you the dead body. However, it's like the anticipation of it, right?
Right.
It's not about the dead body. It's about the journey of these four guys. And that's kind of what comedy is. Like, people don't want to see the dead body, but they want to get pretty close to it, right? Like, right. They want to get fucking close to it. And that's what I think it kind of is. Like, people want you to be edgy. People want to hear, like, kind of taboo jokes, taboo subjects and stuff. But they don't want you to get so engrossed in it unless that's your thing, right? Like, there's plenty of comics who, like, can get gross and still be funny, right?
Right.
For the most part, most people probably aren't going to do that. And if you're just doing edgy jokes for the sake of being edgy, it's not funny.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully my rambling made sense. I have no idea.
Yeah. But let me ask you one more thing, and then I'll let you go.
Yes.
First off, I want to say thank you for your time. I appreciate you hopping on our show and being the first guest. Actually,
hey, I appreciate it, man. It's a great honor. I've never been the first for anything. I suck at racing, so I've never, no gold trophies for me.
Hey, listen, it's all about the participation trophies anyways, right?
100%, dude. That's why I think I can do comedy. I'm like, people want to hear my opinion. People give a shit about that.
and the fans should know what they're getting into when they're coming to see you, anyways. Correct?
In theory, I think the word fan is like a bit much for where I'm at. I have unknowing participants in my comedy shows. I think
they get participation trophies too, just for the sake of it.
I should get them made. Hey, thanks for coming to this fucking shit show.
So my last question to you, if you could play at any venue, where would you like to play and why?
Honestly, probably like Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado. It's just, I mean, like coming from like, I'm like a big music guy. Like I'm looking at my vinyl collection right now. I'm a big music guy, and like, the few times I've been to Colorado, I'm just like, I just kind of fell in love with like Denver. I like that state. Like it's just it's beautiful. The nature is amazing, and Red Rocks Amphitheater is like a natural formation. It's like a natural amphitheater. Like it's these two sets of like not mountains, but like this rock formation, and they built a stage in the middle of it. So like it's like a natural, like, it naturally vibrates off of each other, and it just sounds awesome. And I just think doing a show there would be fucking killer. Like, I think that would be one of the coolest things ever. Bill Burr actually recorded, I believe, his last special at Red Rocks Amphitheater. And it looks gorgeous. And if you've never been there, do yourself a favor and go. Smoke a bone, fucking take a hike at Red Rocks, and it is gorgeous. And the acoustics there, if anyone has seen like the South Park live like concert, 25th anniversary concert or whatever, it was recorded at Red Rocks.
I did see
Red
that.
Rocks.
Yeah, absolutely incredible.
Yeah. So, and it's beautiful. Like if you're there under like a nice night sky, oh my God, it's something else. It really is.
Well, hopefully somebody there sees this and they can get you on there, man. I hope that happens for you someday.
Hey, me too, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course. Well, listen, Ryan, that's all the time that we have for this segment. I hope that we can have you back on at some point again. We'll talk a little bit more about the industry and see where you are at that time.
Yeah, no, I'd love to, man. Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Of course, yeah. So, thank you for coming on, and we'll let you know when the episode is airing. Does that sound good?
Thanks, man. Sounds good.
Of course. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, later.
Bye. And that's our segment for today, folks. This has been wonderful, Ryan. It was great to have you. I hope that you get to play at Red Rocks soon. That would be an awesome show for you to do. So listen, that's all for Mahoney Cinema Conversations today, and we hope to see you guys again soon with the next episode. Stay tuned for more.